Hi, my name is Philip, and today we're gonna change the brakes. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do, which I already done, is we're gonna loosen the nuts on the wheel before we even jack the car up. The reason why we do this is because I have no idea.
It's a lot harder when the wheel's in the air.
Alright, it's a lot harder when the wheel's in the air. So now that I jacked the car up and I loosen the nuts, now I'm gonna take the wheel off.
And for safety purposes, where are you gonna put it?
And for safety purposes, we're gonna place it under the car. Just in case something happens, you don't want the car to fall on you. Get in there! There we go. This is called a C-clamp. What we're gonna do with the C-clamp is we're gonna compress the caliper. The reason why we compress the caliper is so we can make room for the new brake pads, because the old brake pads are worn out. As you can see, compressing is getting tighter and tighter. Alright. Now, as you compress the caliper, you will see that your brake fluid will get higher because the brake fluid liquid is being compressed.
And it has less room. So you want to put a rag around the master cylinder, and you want to take off the cap so it can breathe, and put a rag around it to catch all the fluid so it doesn't drip on your car.
This is called a speed wrench. Always remember the concept of lefty-loosey, which meaning that left, loose, and if the nut is on the opposite side, then it's right loose because the nut is facing that way.
Yeah. It's very loose.
When it's already loose, I guess you could just
you can
slide it off with your hands. There's one. Oh crap, look at that. Be careful. This is gay.
I know. Take off the C-clamp so you can have more room. Always remember to hold the caliper when you're loosening the last nut off the caliper so it doesn't hang and you break your brake line. If that happens, you will have to bleed the brakes and replace the line, and that will take time and money.
It's kind of tight. There we go.
A little more. I think you're going the wrong way.
Oh snap.
There we go. Speed ratchets are always handy for jobs like this.
Gotta make sure I hold the caliper so it doesn't fall. Now place the caliper in a safe place.
Yeah.
Where you know it won't fall. Like so.
Or you can get a wire hanger, hook it around here, and hold it on the top of one of the springs just to have it out of your way if you're changing the rotor. But today we're just changing the pads, so right there's a perfect spot.
So now the next step, after we take off the caliper, now we got to take off the brake pads. Now you can just pull it out. As you can see, these brake pads still have a little more life. Let me take out the back so you can get a little more.
These are the new ones right here. Angle this? Angle yours? A little bit? No, flat. A little more flat. There we go. See the thickness. These are the new ones.
Show them the sensor.
Oh yeah. When installing new brake pads, the sensors always go on the inside of the brakes.
Yep. This is the sensor. You see how close it's getting to the sensor. Now if the brake pads are really low and it gets to the center, you're going to hear a really squeaky noise. When you hear that squeaky noise, that means you have to change your brakes. which in my case I don't have yet, but it's getting real low, so just to be safe I want to change my brake pads. Now what I'm going to do is put some brake cleaner on the
rotor.
On the rotor. Now,
just do that to wipe down any residue so the brakes can stop better.
Bingo!
Now time to install the new brake pads.
Now while installing the new brake pads, keep in mind, don't touch the front of the brakes because you don't want any grease on it. So you put the bottom in first, like so. Bring it. See how the bottom clamped? And when it clamps in, you can just easily push the top. Sometimes you don't give me problems. I hate this. There we go. Just like that. See how it perfectly fits? Same thing with the back.
Notice how the sensor's in? No, it's the other way. It's upside down.
Oop.
And sensors on the inside of the wheel.
Can't really see back here. There we go. Nice and tight. Now for the final few steps in installing new brake pads. Now we got to put the caliper on. Of course, you know, hold it there tight so it doesn't fall, so you don't break the brake fluid line. Put the nuts in. Make sure you grease up the nuts.
So that in the future it comes off easier.
There we go. Yeah, I can't find the hole here.
It's too high. Take it out.
High?
Yeah, take it out. Take out the nut. There we go. There we go.
Huh. There we go. Oh, am I screwing it in?
There we go. All you gotta do is tighten up the nuts. Hand tight. No, not hand tight. I mean, not too tight, but not too loose, you know. There you go. 14 millimeter. There we go. Just a little. There you go. That should be good enough.
That's tight enough, right?
Yeah, that's good. Now all's left is to pump the brakes before you drive away. And what I like to do is add a little grease to the lug nuts right here, the studs, just, you know, for any future purposes, just a tad. And what you want to do is, proper thing is to get a torque wrench, and when you're tightening up the lug nuts on the wheel. So this car is going to be 80 foot-pounds, but bigger SUVs usually more, like 100. Little Hondas are like 80 also, but you're gonna have to look that up. For every car is different, and that's it.